Hey guys, what's happening? I had to say that because everyone else says that on videos. Anyway, quick video guys, just want to show you what we're up to. We are on the home stretch. Three little fidgety things I had to solve. First thing, don't ask me why, but when I went to put the cable back onto the transmission, for some reason it was short by about 15 mil. So what I did was basically I just cut that and moved it across and welded it. So that's for the TH350. Don't know what the deal was there, but because really the gearbox hasn't changed. But anyway, not going to stuff around with it. Next thing, had to solve two problems in one for this one. Okay, first thing, to keep the original dials, I want to keep my original temperature gauge. I'm sort of old-fashioned. I like old-looking stuff, and kind of I'm old as well, so I guess you could say. So what I did was I got one of these little attachments that you put on your upper radiator hose, tapped out this, and basically dropped that straight in. So there's the original Pontiac temperature gauge, which will be suitable perfectly because it's calibrated for the gauges in the car. The other thing I know you need on the LS is a steam line. So once again, same thing, tapped out a little hole, put this in here, and now I've got a steam port as well, which allows the water, in case you guys aren't aware of it, the LSs have a hot spot up on the top of the heads, being the highest spot, and if you get an airlock in there, they can create a lot of heat and damage the motor. So they put on the LS1s, and some of the LS2s and 3s actually have 4, but generally the LS1s, 5.7 litres, have 2 ports on the front, which branch into one, and it's got a single barb on the front, just near the water pump. I just took a hose onto this, I routed along the radiator hose, and put some zip ties to hold it in place, and then that allows any of the air pressure, that steam that builds up in the top where there might be air trapped, to actually bleed out. Another little tip, when you're filling up your radiator for the first time, take off your upper radiator hose, take off the steam port hose on the engine, fill it up with your coolant until it starts coming out the top of that. That's one trick at getting all the air out of the top of the engine, and the engine will purge the rest of it as it goes via this steam port. So there we go, pretty simple. These things here, look, in Australia they're only about 20 bucks. Dual tap, pop in the old one, had to buy an adapter. You can find those at most hardware places and stuff like that. So that's that problem solved. Finally, oil pressure, a must have. I'm running the Swap in a Box Summit kit, which came with the hamburger oil pan, which has no oil filter attachment. It literally just has 2 barbs coming off, -10 ANs, and you run hose from them up to one of these things, which is a relocatable oil filter. Pros and cons, well, one advantage to it is you can have this up on your inner wheel fender, which means changing your oil and your oil filter means you're just unscrewing it straight from the front. You can change the capacity of your oil filter if you want as well, and you can connect in here oil line coolers and run a cooler out the back of it. So what I did was this, basically same thing again, just tapped into the inline, and if you can see down inside of there, probably just barely, there's actually where it comes through. Okay, so the idea was to tap and pop that in, and once again by doing that I get to retain the original gauges, and I don't have to worry about calibration problems because I know they work. Well, this works most of the time. But anyway, so there we go. So final things, that don't ask me why, but that little bracket just had to be done. So I'm almost there, guys. A few more videos to go, but she's just about there. Crossing my fingers and hope she all runs. All right, ciao for now.